So here we have some missing number problems for multiplying or dividing by 10 or 100. How do we know that our missing numbers must be 10 or 100? Well, if we look at the digits in the question, we can see that they're the same as the digits in the answer. If we ignore the place values, we have a 6 and a 5, and then in our answer we have a 6 and a 5. For this question, we ignore zeros, but non-zero digits we have a 6 and a 5, and we also have a 6 and a 5 in our answer. So the digits are the same. And when the digits are the same, that tells us that we must have multiplied or divided by something that has a place value. So we have a place value for our tens, for our hundreds. Multiplying by 1,000 would also leave the digits the same, but just change the place values. So how can we find our missing numbers? Well, what I like to do is to write both numbers out, one below the other, with the place values lined up. So first, 6.5 times what equals 65? Well, we can write out 6.5, and then we can copy down the decimal point so that we know that our place values will be lined up. Now remember, there's really an invisible decimal point on the end of every whole number, so we can write 65 before the decimal point, and that means our tens, ones and tenths will be in the right place values. We can see that the digits have moved one square to the left, and when we multiply by 10, digits move one square to the left, so our missing number is 10. Now we have 0.65 and our answer is 6.5, so we can write both numbers out with the decimal points lined up. Again, we can see that digits have moved one square to the left, and that means that we've multiplied by 10. Now 0.6 times what equals 60? We can write out 0.6 and copy down the decimal point and write 60 and then the decimal point, so that our tens, ones and tenths are lined up. Now if we look at what's happened to this 6, it's moved 2 squares to the left, and when we multiply by 100, the digits move 2 squares to the left, because in 100 we have 2 zeros, or because multiplying by 100 is like multiplying by 10 and then by 10 again. Now we have some missing number division problems. 6 divided by what equals 0.06? So we can write out the number 6 and write a decimal point on the end, because we can always write a decimal point on the end of a whole number. Then we can write 0.06 directly below with the decimal points lined up. We can see that here the 6 has moved 2 squares to the right, and when digits move 2 squares to the right, we've divided by 100, because 100 has 2 zeros, or because dividing by 100 is like dividing by 10 and then by 10 again. Now we have 65, so we can put a decimal point on the end because we have a whole number, and then we can write our answer 0.65 directly below with the decimal points lined up. Here again we can see that the digits have moved 2 squares to the right, which means we've divided by 100. Finally, we have 60.5 and our answer is 6.05. Here the digits have only moved 1 square to the right, which means we've divided by 10. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. If you're a teacher or a parent, then please subscribe or go to keystage2maths.com to download resources for this lesson and many more. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.